Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Monday Night Raw Dog. I am your host, Coach, here on the We Book It podcast with the We Book It boys, and producing the show tonight, and my co-host, we got Big Daddy C.
What's going on, We Book It fam? What's happening, Coach?
Nothing much. See, I just realized this is probably the one and only time this shirt it's got the Blackhawks on it. So from the first time that the Blues and Blackhawks played in the Winter Classic, I just realized this is probably the only shirt I will ever wear with the Blackhawks on it because it was a really cool memory. So
it's all good. It's all good. My boys will be back to prominence soon enough. It's all good.
Well, I don't know what the Blues are doing, so I'm getting ready to throw in the towel for the season. It seems like
the
players seem like it.
Yeah, I haven't even been following that much outside of results from any games. I don't really know who's. Yeah, look at the standings and see who's doing what. Because I haven't even been paying that much attention this season. All football and and basketball, pretty much.
Right.
Yep.
All right, so tonight's Monday Night Raw was the go-home show before the Royal Rumble, and it delivered some heavy moments, and we're going to go ahead and jump right in. Leading things off was Seth freaking Rollins coming to the ring, basically calling his shot, saying, teasing that when he wins the Royal Rumble, he's going to challenge Cody Rhodes, and he also brought up the possibility of Gunther. Well, say his name, he appears, Gunther, showed up and said that, it wouldn't matter if Seth wins, and he hopes that he does choose Gunther because it's going to be an easy victory for Gunther. And while him and Seth Rollins went back and forth, Logan Paul made his return to WWE with a great ovation of boos from the fans. And I'll give him credit. Despite all the boos, he was still trying to cut his promo. He wasn't stopping or anything like that. So I'll give him credit there. And he kept his cool. So I was interested in that. But Paul then called his shot that he would win the Royal Rumble and challenge Gunther, which just made Gunther laugh and said, "Actually, I hope you do, because then I can wipe that stupid little smirk off your face." Seth Rollins then says, "I hope that happens, but it's still going to be me winning," and that was that. And a quick something that Gunther had said, he had said, "Please challenge me and please square off with me at WrestleMania. You will realize the only name synonymous with the World Heavyweight Championship is mine, Gunther." And that was the end of the segment. We also got a backstage segment from Sami Zayn and CM Punk, to which Sami Zayn said he did not take kindly to CM Punk's words on his promo last week. So, a lot going on there in that opening segment. See, what'd you think?
I thought it was an interesting moment. Obviously, with Rollins, he's never lost sight on that title, on the World Heavyweight title. And then with Gunther, pretty much being the main guy, obviously you mention his name, he's gonna pop out and be like, hey, you want to talk about me? Hey, just talk to me. We're gonna sort this out. I was surprised to see Logan Paul there. I'm sitting there looking at my screen, I'm like, Logan Paul. I'm like this man need to sit down somewhere, man. We'll see you in the Rumble, but like, man, hey, let the big boys talk, man. Or let the men talk. Like, sit down, little boy. But no, yeah, man. I thought it was a great segment. Just giving a taste of what we could see heading into WrestleMania. I think in terms of the CM Punk and Sami Zayn segment, I thought that was very interesting as well. They've had their issues in the past, probably dating back to ROH days. And Sammy kind of mentioned that in a video. I guess they were rewatching the CM Punk return at Survivor Series, and he said that there was like some unfinished business or whatever. Apparently, he said they sorted those things out, I guess. But it's kind of I like the little callback to the fact that there may be some still a little bit of animosity there between those two, and then so hopefully we can get a match between these two in the future. I would love to see that. So we'll see what happens in the coming months.
All right, moving on to our first match of the night, and it is a tag team championship match between the War Raiders and the Judgment Day. Everyone's going to talk about, I'll just cut to the chase. War Raiders ended up winning despite distraction from Carlito in the Judgment Day, but everyone's going to be talking about JD McDonough's scary bump that he took off the announce table and yet still came back to finish the match. And it actually, when he got it, how bad the bump was that people were legit worried about him. And when he came back and tagged back in, the crowd was actually cheering for him because he was okay. Like that, I think that speaks a lot to JD McDonough's toughness. Even though they lost the match, I think the storyline going forward is there's a possibility that McDonough could be, I won't say world champion, but he could definitely be a mid-card champion because I think he just earned a lot of people's respect tonight with what he did. Everyone just thinks him as the lackey of the Judgment Day just to get thrown around and everything. But what he showed tonight was toughness, and I think a lot of people are going to start rooting him on a little bit more. But besides all that, during the match, Cole and Pat McAfee just continued to put over the War Raiders, how they have bounced back from injury, and with their victory, it looks like they will finally be moving on from the Judgment Day and look for new challengers. See your thoughts on that match.
I thought it was a real solid match. I feel like these two teams do have some great chemistry in the ring. I did like that moment with JD McDonough. Just because I missed it live when it happened, but when they showed the replay, and also saw it on I think IG as well, I was like, oh damn! I'm like that was pretty rough right there.
Yeah.
We've seen kind of like moments like that happen. Think back to Shawn Michaels when he had the it was WrestleMania 24, I believe, the match against Ric Flair. And he did the springboard moonsault, ironically enough. But he ended up missing Ric Flair, and his like torso like hit the very edge of the announce table as it broke, and just like the fact that he continued on in that match was like, granted he was more of a seasoned veteran than JD McDonough at the time, but still like before a hit like a potential like paralyzing injury like that, to a moonsault and your neck is literally snapping off the edge of the announce table. Like it's pretty rough to see. But like I said, to his credit, he bounced back up. Somebody made a joke like this man's head must be made of titanium or something. I'm like, hey, got that big ass dome piece, man. Of course,
Right.
like, hey, Lord Farquaad, man. Hey,
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, but no, credit to him. I do see him possibly getting a run at a mid card championship in the future. So we'll see what happens with that. But I don't know if he'll be in the Rumble or not, but he might. We'll see. Because I think the Judgment Day is about time to go ahead and uh, and cut it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially I think fans taking time off, I guess, after that match against Priest. So yeah, we'll see what happens with them.
Yeah, agreed. And we'll get more on the Judgment Day later in the show. But the next match is a grudge match between Rey Mysterio and Xavier Woods. And before the match, Woods was bragging how Atlanta's hometown hero is back, to which Kathy Kelly named off 3 different wrestlers before saying Xavier Woods' name, like Braun Breaker, Cody Rhodes, and even Austin Theory, which made Woods even more mad. And then he talked about how his family have ringside tickets for this match, only for when Woods came out, his family was nowhere to be seen. But we'll get to that later on. A very solid match, which actually Woods was controlling most of the time and, taunting the crowd. Kofi enjoying his new heel run, getting the heat and everything that I think they're really enjoying because they've been a babyface for so long. I think they're really enjoying this heel run now.
Mhm.
And as they went to the outside, Woods was putting some damage on Mysterio, only to see that his mom, dad, and sister finally appeared on into their ringside seats, and with a special guest of Little Yachty being in there as well. And as Woods asks his family where they've been, like what took them so long, Woods' dad takes out a T-shirt proudly wearing, and it says "New Day sucks," and it leads to his sister throwing one of the New Day sucks shirts into his
Mhm.
face, distracting him, and leading for Mysterio to get the 619 for the victory. And it just adds on to the hilariousness of this that probably Woods and Kingston will not understand why their families are turning on them, but it was a nice little touch to add Xavier Woods' family into the fun as well. Side note, during the match, Michael Cole announced that Selena Vega, who was out there at ringside for Rey Mysterio, had been sent to SmackDown, so she will no longer be a part of the LWO. Interesting going forward. See your thoughts on this match.
This match, I ain't gonna lie to you, that was my piss break. I mean, I did go back and like rewatch it because I was kind of like cycling between Netflix and playing NCAA. But I did go back and see what the ending was to that. So, in terms of the match itself, not too bad of a match. I'm glad Ray got the win. Um, like I said, I when they first turned heel, my whole thing was, what is the end goal for this storyline? Like, what are they going to eventually get a tag team championship opportunity? Like what's next?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how long are they going to prolong this? You know, this like every week them being salty at everyone being mad at them and all this other stuff. Like what is the end goal for this? And
Mm-hmm.
um so that's my only thing. Yeah, I have no issues with the match. I do like the little touch of the family, basically turning on them.
Mm-hmm.
And so but I imagine they'll probably be in the Rumble, on Sunday, or Saturday. So used to these pay-per-views being on Sundays, man,
Yeah.
especially the big four. But yeah, I see them being in the Rumble. Obviously they're not gonna win it, but I just hope that they figure something out like long term in terms of tag team championship run. Are they going to keep the New Day thing, or like are they going to switch it up? Because I don't know, it just seems like they don't really. like they don't even go about a New Day like that anymore. It's just
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I do wonder what's the end game with this heel turn for the New Day, and what are they going to do with it. But only time will tell. We then go to our next match, which is a women's tag team match between Bianca Belair and Naomi versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Not. I mean, it was a pretty entertaining match. It was got off to a hot start, and then the commercial break kind of cooled it off a little bit. But towards the end, action got better. Of course, Dominic Mysterio came out, provided a distraction. Bianca didn't take too kindly to that, to which she wiped him out with a moonsault. And then, right as Naomi delivered her finisher and got the 1-2 count, Raquel Rodriguez grabbed her, dropped her on the apron, threw her back in the ring, and Morgan got the pin and the win. I mean, it was. I think it. I didn't. I wasn't too. I think the commercial break really killed it. And I shouldn't say that because it started out really well, and then for at least my side of things as a fan watching, it just seemed like after that, very slow and botchy. It looks like Morgan and Rodriguez are going to challenge for the tag team titles now. Even again, we're still waiting to hear what happened with Jade Cargill. So we'll probably see a plot switch coming up here in the women's tag division. But I mean, I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of this match, even though it started out great. And I think Raquel Rodriguez is still really rusty in the ring. So I think they need to get her more action and get her back to that comfortable feeling she had when she was on her singles run. But the match itself, it was just kind of for me. See, what do you think?
I thought honestly, match itself was okay. I didn't I have too much of it, but I do in terms of your thoughts on it. Like I do agree that this more likely is going to bleed into, um, what's happening with Jade, um, to the point where it might end up costing Bianca and Naomi the tag team championship. And then more likely live in Raquel will win the titles. And so I think they'll have a nice little run with those. And so, yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Not too much to really dwell on it about. Yeah.
Agreed. So going into our next segment, we get Paul Heyman, who just randomly walked out into the ring. No complaints from me though, as he takes the mic and talks about how Roman Reigns is back on top and now he is coming back for his title. And why not? Because he is on the cover of WWE 2K25, to which they revealed the giant poster. And Heyman made his prediction that Roman will be winning the Rumble and challenging Cody Rhodes for his title back. And as Heyman was wrapping up, Drew McIntyre hit the ring and confronted Heyman. And what I love about Drew McIntyre's heel character here, he's got so much logic in his in the way that he talks. He said the only thing I came out here for is for you to tell me thank you for starting the bloodline. To which
Right.
everyone was very confused, and Drew ran it back. He said in 2020, I won the Royal Rumble at that WrestleMania. I beat Brock Lesnar. He didn't say Brock Lesnar. He said the Beast, who was your client, and you uh, and your client got rid of you. You found Roman Reigns, who was at a low point in his career, whispered something in his ear, and
Mhm.
then the tribal chief was born. So you should be thanking me. To which Paul Heyman did say a very I guess it was more of a whimper of a thank you. And then as he was walking away, Drew McIntyre said, "Hey, let me just tell your boy that I am going to throw him over the top rope." To which Heyman smiled and said, "Okay, I'll tell Roman Reigns." And he said, "No, no, no, not Roman Reigns. Tell your boy CM Punk I'm coming for him on Saturday." And that was how the segment ended. Really, really good stuff there. I love the teaser that they're showing for the Royal Rumble. And gotta love Drew McIntyre's logic with this one. I couldn't agree more with it. And as he says, I'm not proud to admit this, I am the daddy of the bloodline. See, what are your thoughts on this?
Oh man, honestly, like I loved it. Just Drew reminding everyone, including Paul Heyman, look, I'm not done with Roman. I'm not done with CM Punk. It's like just know I'm coming for both of them. I will target both of them and eliminate their asses. Like I know he made it seem like he was talking about Roman, but he's talking about Punk. But in the same time, in the same light, he's like also talking about Roman because he still has issues with both of them. So I did like to see. I did like that promo itself. Um, so we'll see what happens at the Rumble, and this hopefully all the drama just can pretty much culminate in this whole thing. There's so many angles, so many different rivalries
Mm-hmm.
being intertwined with this match. I'm ready. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, quick note on what you just said about that with the storylines. Last year, there was really only two storylines going into
Yeah.
the Royal Rumble, which was, is Cody gonna win and finish the story, or is CM Punk gonna get his moment? This year, you could literally go with anybody,
Right.
and I think that's
Exactly.
why it's so exciting this year
Yeah.
is that anybody could win this thing, and there's nothing set in stone just because of the storylines.
Hmm.
Um, Before we get to our main event, technically, even though it was a little mixed up on the Netflix about with
Yeah.
the commercials and everything, we get a quick promo from Braun Breaker backstage talking about his victory over Sheamus, only to be interrupted by Penta. The two have a stare off, and we get a tease of a possible matchup between those two. So fingers crossed that happens very soon. We then get to our final match of the night, which is Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre. Sami Zayn is 0-10 against Drew, which was talked about constantly during the match. Which I think you brought it up, see, in our group chat that they're teasing a Sami heel turn, and this might be kind of the boiling point for him as he lost another match to Drew McIntyre. After the win, McIntyre attacked Zayn, only for Cody Rhodes to come out to make the save. And
And I was
as
talking
he,
about my bad, don't mean to cut you off. I was actually talking about the Cody thing soon after that.
oh yeah, you had said no, well, you had said something about Sammy earlier too, but yes, you did mention the Cody one as well. But while you look that up, Cody Rhodes made the save, threw McIntyre out of the ring, but then Kevin Owens is back. He starts attacking him, and they get into the corner. McIntyre then comes back in, and then as McIntyre has Rhodes in the corner, Sammy attempts a hull of a kick and hits Cody Rhodes on accident, to which McIntyre laughs, and Kevin Owens watches on with a big smile and pats Zayn on the back, thinking that he did it on purpose and saying, pretty much giving him the thumbs up that you're on my side and you're going to help me on Saturday. And it just adds to the frustration that Sammy is going through, which I think will eventually be his quote unquote downfall into the heel turn that's coming. But overall, I thought a really good segment there. See, what are your thoughts?
I enjoyed the match. It sucks that Sammy still can't get one over on Drew. It's very unfortunate. But yeah, I did in the group chat. Fritos had mentioned it.
Oh, it was Fritos. Okay.
And then I agree. I just agreed to it, saying I could see it happening. But during this whole Cody thing, that's when I say, are they going to tease? Are they teasing it? And so, but yeah, I thought the aftermath added just another layer. You know, the friendship between Kevin and Sammy, and we know the promo that happened on SmackDown last week between those two.
Mhm.
Kevin Owens trying to get Sammy to join him in the quest. But I did think that like that adding the layer, especially with the whole Cody thing, that's definitely going to like be must see TV over the next few months or so leading into Mania.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. All right, we get into our final segment, which is a face off between Cody Rhodes and CM Punk. It starts out with Cody still recovering from taking the kick and talking about how being a champion is more than just wearing the belt, it's about doing everything. And you can see the look on Cody's face. He's worn out. He's talked about working all the matches he's done. And as he continues talking, CM Punk comes on out and checks on him, basically asks him if he's okay, especially since he knows what it's like to be a champion and what it's like to hold down the fort. Um, he talks about how everybody's been stabbing Cody in the back and how CM Punk is still his friend, to which Cody questioned if he was still his friend, to which CM Punk responded, of course. And he said, and because I'm your friend, I'm going to tell you this. When I win the Royal Rumble, I'm coming for you, and instead of stabbing you in the back, I'm going to stab you in the front. And to which Cody Rhodes responded and said, that's fine with me, but just remember, I used to be the one chasing you, but the dynamic has changed because you're chasing me, and I hope you win the Royal Rumble because I want you to try and catch up to me. To which CM Punk responded, there's a graveyard full of careers who wanted me to catch them, right up until I did. And then Rhodes ended the promo by saying, I want you to win and face me at WrestleMania because I want you to see the look on your face when you realize the best in the world isn't the best in the world anymore. And he dropped the mic and ended the show. And I'm getting goosebumps just reiterating all those promos, those lines in that promo. Um, what a tease! What a tease going forward. See, what do you think of that final segment?
I enjoyed it, especially after the weird potential like end credits that we got going
Yeah.
into it, which is like right after the whole fiasco with Sammy, Drew and KO and Seth and well not Seth but yeah and Cody. Um, and like so basically coming after that because I thought the show was pretty much over. Then they even had the end credits with the little Georgia thing. So and then here we are back at Cody. I'm like, oh, okay, so we're still going. Cool. And Cody gives his little promo. And so I was not expecting CM Punk, honestly. So that was a shock. And so just seeing CM Punk have like this, like pretty much caring for Cody, which is weird. Which is weird. Like after what happened last year, and them being the final two guys in the Royal Rumble, and Cody end up eliminating CM Punk after Punk was
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm not going to lose to Dusty Sun. And
Right.
so I was like, okay, we might get this. We might get this. And so but just looking at Cody, seeing like how like soulless he looked as he was talking, how he sounded. was like, oh man, I'm like, are we gonna get the old heel Cody, that we got before he came to AEW, so I was thinking like, his ROH days or New Japan, wherever he was when he first started wearing that blonde hair. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so um, that, and I'm hoping we can get that Homelander gimmick, him just going around just destroying everybody, like just on his warpath. So I'm hoping we can get that down the line. So I was excited to see it. Them two having a great promo, great chemistry between the two. Especially with the history that they have dating back to the OVW days. So I love when they do a callback, basically reference those old days, coming up in the company. So yeah, I loved it, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I thought the show started out it started out good, hit a bump in the middle
Yeah,
where it kind of got lackluster, and then really picked up towards the end. I give it a solid B plus, and pretty good go home show before a big pay per view like the Royal Rumble. See any final thoughts on Monday Night Raw?
um, no, did we touch on the Jey Uso thing already, or
Oh no, I completely forgot about that
yeah?
one. Yes, there was a segment where Jey Uso came down with Quavo from Migos and basically said that even though he didn't get the job done, he will still be fighting and will enter the Royal Rumble, to which he will win. And that was pretty much it. It was more of just an excuse to show Quavo and get the crowd
Right.
going crazy for the Yeets.
Yeah, they definitely had some. They had stars was out tonight. Yeah, Quavo, Kai Cenat, 2 Chainz, Lil Yachty.
Mhm.
Forgot who else they had out there, but yeah, it was.
Killer Mike was out there.
Oh, Killer Mike was out. I must have missed it. But yeah, so yeah, I think this is the era that we're in now. Like, for like every city that they hit up, especially that's a big city, there's gonna be a lot of stars, man.
Hmm.
Like wrestling is like as The Rock said, wrestling is cool again. Like wrestling is it. Like a lot of superstars, a lot of celebrities are starting to come back out, and tune in, man. So I'm loving this. I think this Netflix deal definitely kind of changed it. Even though we've had celebrities show up before the Netflix deal, but now I think
Hmm.
it's starting to be a lot more consistent. I already know what to expect in Indianapolis. It's going to be a lot of stuff going on there. I wouldn't be surprised if we see, some coast players there, past or present. Might
Hmm.
see. Well, I highly doubt we see Peyton Manning there because he doesn't associate
Yeah,
himself
I
with
don't
that.
know.
Even though he has a statue outside the stadium, but
Facts.
you never know. You never know. So yeah, man, great show overall. It was a nice go home show. Didn't expect too much out of it, but it was pretty solid for what it's worth. So I'm excited for this Saturday.
Yes, we are all excited for it as well. And to all of our viewers, thank you once again for tuning in to another edition of Monday Night Raw Dog. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to our content. We are on Instagram, X, Facebook, and I feel like I'm missing something.
Um,
No, I'm sorry. I got them all. Got them all taken care of. But we are
um,
on Spotify. We're
yeah,
on Apple Podcast. I mean, give us a listen and comment. We're on YouTube as well. Whatever you want us to talk about, let us know. If you want to hear something on Monday Night Raw Dog, let us know. If you want to hear something on C's Wednesday Night AEW recap, if you want to hear something on Fritos' SmackDown Lowdown on Friday night, or if you just want to talk with all of us on Sunday in our variety show, let us know in the comments. And we look forward to hearing from you. For Big Daddy C running the controls, uh, back in Springfield, Illinois. I'm Coach down here in St. Louis. We will see you guys
Ooh,
next.
ooh.
We'll see you guys next week here on Monday Night Raw Dog.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Catch you tomorrow.